Hi everybody, my name is Heidi Marsh and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. I recently moved from a hobby demonstrator to an active demonstrator, I guess you would call it. I don't know. All of us are active, but some of us just like to do it for a hobby and some of us like to do it for more, and I chose to move to the next level so I could start sharing what I love doing. Today I'm going to be sharing this so cute and simple card with you. This is made with the Hello Cupcake stamp set from Stampin' Up! This actually happens to be a stamp set that you can currently earn for free. This is for a limited time during our Sale-A-Bration time, which runs from now through March 31st, 2019. For every $50 purchase that you make, you can earn a free item out of this catalog. And again, this happens to be the Hello Cupcake stamp set. I just think it is adorable. I love the font that they used for these sentiments. Today's card could be used for a birthday or it could be used for Valentine's Day. It's pretty versatile. You can use these with other stamp sets. And right now we also have our occasions catalog, which was just released, and this has everything that you need for spring, Father's Day, Mother's Day, Easter, you name it, Valentine's Day. All the things that you can think of are in here. Even just general birthday sets are in here, so you won't want to miss out on taking a look at this. I will have links to my website below so that you can check those out. But for now, let's get to work on this card. So to start, I used the lovely lipstick cardstock, which comes in 8.5 by 11. I went ahead and cut that in half. So this is 8.5 by 5.5 and scored at 4 1/4. And then from there, the next layer I made, I used our All My Love Designer Series paper. And in order to make that card panel, I used our rectangle stitched framelits. This is also one of the new items in our occasions catalog. These are so awesome. This is a must-have for your collection if you are a Thinlits user. You get 13 dies, and they come in this plastic envelope to store. Lots of people store these in many different ways. They come in a paper sleeve, but for to make it more simple for myself, I discard the paper sleeve and I purchase magnetic sheets so that they're easily taken on and off. And then I always like to put a label from P-Touch on there with the number of dies, so I make sure that I have all the dies back in their home where they belong. Some of our sets are so extensive that you want to make sure that you're not missing any dies before you put those away. And I, again, just store them in the same envelope that they come in, and that way I can see easily what the dies are, what they're called, and how many there are. Okay, so enough about that. What we want to go ahead and do is start by making our card panel. I'm going to bring my big shot up here, and today I'm using my magnetic platform along with my rectangle die. This is the second to the largest die in the set, and this particular shape that comes in the set actually has been designed to coordinate with the A2 card size so that you can layer exactly for the card size. The next one up is just slightly bigger than this. So we're going to go ahead and put our designer series paper on our big shot, and just remember when you're doing this, don't make the mistake that I did. I ran it through the first time and oh my gosh, look what I did. I did it sideways. We don't want sideways hearts on our cards, although obviously I can use this for another card, so I'll set that aside. So if you have a pattern that's running a certain way, just make sure that when you're cutting it out, you're cutting it out the way that you want it to go. It's an easy mistake to make. So I am placing my cutting pad on top, running it through my machine. Clunking and cracking is normal in case you've never done this before. Not to worry. Okay. Apart, and what you will see is this super cute rectangle, and it has the stitched edge on it. I just love that. It just gives it the extra something that you need for detail. And we're going to set this aside for the moment. Next, I'm using a scrap of Whisper White cardstock to do my stamping. And the three colors that we're using today are Lovely Lipstick, Flirty Flamingo, and Soft Suede. And we're going to start off with our Soft Suede ink pad. I still have some of the older style, if you noticed. This is the newer style of ink pad that opens like a compact, slides right in. These are the older, they still work fantastic. They open similarly but flip over when you close them. So I just haven't replaced all of mine at this point. So I have a little bit of the new, a little bit of the old, but all still work great. So I'm going to come in with my cupcake liner or cupcake base. I'm going to tap on here. I'm going to go ahead and stamp this kind of to the bottom in the middle. Straight up, straight down. And from here, what we're going to go ahead and do, if you notice, I had this little banner in the middle. I got that idea actually from the catalog. I just thought it was so cute. This banner paper measures 1 inch by 4.5 inches. And don't worry about writing everything down now. I will have all of the supplies that I've used, all of the measurements on my website, so that you can follow those and recreate this for yourself if you wish. So what I'm going to do right now is just kind of lay this down. And I'm going to bring in my Flirty Flamingo ink. And I just want this here to eyeball so that I space these out appropriately. So I'm going to move this out of the way. There we go. And now we're going to come in with our little confetti bitlets and our lovely lipstick ink. And these are spaced out such that they fit right perfectly inside of this frosting. It's so cute. Oh my gosh, I just love this card. Okay, and then we have a little cupcake topper here. It's a little heart. We're gonna put that right on top of the frosting here. Perfect. And that stamping is done. I'm going to go ahead and bring our Big Shot back in. And now I'm using the 4th to the largest rectangle. And I'm just going to center that up. And the magnetic platform helps so much with keeping this in place when you're running it through. I just love my magnetic platform. And as you can see, my cutting pads are super well loved. I'm coming due to buy some new ones for myself, but they still work like champs, so I am still using them. Okay, so we're going to place that down, run it through. And you don't actually have to run these through all the time necessarily. Some of the more detailed dies that you might use, sometimes I run those through twice just to make sure I get a nice crisp cut. This is just in the interest of not having to grab it from the other side. So let's move this out of the way again, pop this out. And one thing I wanted to show you too is these rectangle framelits not only put a stitch on the outside of this rectangle that I just did, they also put a stitch on the frame that you cut out. And I just think that's awesome. I can set this aside and use it for another project. Okay. So now I'm going to come in and I'm going to put some snail adhesive on the back of my designer series paper. As you can see, the other side of this has such cute Valentine's patterns on it. This All My Love designer series paper is just adorable. And that is also in our occasions catalog. Okay, so I'm just gonna place this in the center, And then from here, I'm going to use some dimensionals on the back of my cupcake panel. And I like to put one in each corner. And then also one in the center, just to make sure that that doesn't droop down, because this is a pretty good size rectangle. Let's take those off, the backings. One tip for you, when you are using your dimensionals, you want to, once you use all of those cute little hexagons up on your projects, do not throw away the sheet that they come on, because on the outside you have these little strips, which may sometimes look like trash, but they are made of the same material and you can use those as well. They're great for sentiments. When you have a thin little strip of something, you can put that right on the back and it gives great support to a sentiment. So don't throw those away. Those are very useful. Okay, so now we're going to come back in with our strip of Flirty Flamingo, and we're going to stamp our sentiment, which says sprinkled with love in lovely lipstick. I'll stamp that right in the center. There we go. And what I did when I cut this out, again, is 1 inch by 4 1/4. I went ahead and put 2 score lines, one at 3 inches and one at 3 1/2 inches on either side. That way I could make the banner that's on here, it pops up just a little. So what you want to do once you score that, you're going to bend the first line back and bend the second line forward. And I went ahead and just used my bone folder to get a nice crisp crease on those. So back and then forward. From here, what I did, I took my dimensionals again and I put one in the center, and then I stuck another one right on top of it. Otherwise it would droop in the middle, and I didn't want a droopy card. So now I'm going to put a little bit of snail adhesive on either side of the banner ends. Oh, and I forgot to cut my dovetails. We can do that, no problem. We're going to go ahead and use, here we go. You're just going to cut up on the side slightly and then come in from each corner up to that center cut that you made. Cut a little banner tail on either side. Just adds a little something. Okay, now we are ready to adhere this to our card. So right here, just line it up and give it a little press in the center to go. Oh, I forgot to take off my backing. That doesn't help, does it? Here we go. Okay, let's try this again. Line it up. Make sure it's centered. Perfect. Give it a little press in the center. All right. Now, I thought that this could use just another little something on it because I like sparkle. So I came in with my Wink of Stella pen and I just put a little bit of sparkle on this heart and then on the sprinkles. So cute. It just adds an extra little bit of shimmer. I'm not sure if you can see that on the camera, but in person it adds that little bit of sparkle. And then the last thing that I did was add some sequins. In the Occasions catalog, we have the Gingham Gala adhesive backed sequins, and they come in several different colors. But I used these here because I thought the iridescence of them picked up the colors of this card perfectly. So this is the take your pick tool, and I'm using that to pick up the sequin from the backing, and it helps me place it on the card. And I just give it a little press on the top. One here, and one more right here. And that is it. Quick and simple card. If you enjoyed this project, click on over to my blog. And again, all of the products and the dimensions that you need are going to be listed there. And if you'd like to shop, I'll have a link in the description below as well to my 24/7 online store where you can purchase any of these products. Thanks so much for watching, and I hope that you make something cute today.